Fox News alert. Well, it is a big day on Capitol Hill where we are awaiting new information on the Republican plan for tax reform. Moments ago,
this is the first time any North Korean leader has directly addressed an international audience. Kim Jong-un saying he takes President Trump's threats personally. So he has been.
This is an NBC News special report. Here's Lester Holt.
Good day. We're coming on the air to update you on a major earthquake that has rocked central Mexico.
The definition of media, according to businessdictionary.com. Communication through which news, entertainment, education, data, or promotional messages are disseminated. Media includes every broadcasting medium such as newspapers, magazines, TV, radio, and the internet. The media, ever so divisive, but ever so important in our daily lives.
The media, as it was originally conceptualized, was really something that the Founding Fathers had their eye on. They were tired of the licensing battles they had with England, and it was not the primary reason for the revolution, but it was a major reason for the revolution. We need to be able to speak to our authorities. We need to be able to order our authorities, and in order to do that, the media, the press, has to be free.
Look, I think communication and the word communicate is part and parcel to everything we do in our world. When you think about a communication degree, it's vitally important because it is the basis of which everything else exists. It doesn't matter what program you choose to go into or what you're trying to do with a career. If you're not able to communicate whatever that is, you're going to have a really tough time in that profession. So I think that the ability to communicate, be a communication expert, is just vital to how we function in our society.
And as 10 News anchor John Carlin puts it, what the media chooses to communicate has the potential to impact anyone who chooses to listen to it.
I think that every decision we make in the media, to the extent that somebody views it, has the potential to impact somebody's life. We, as journalists, try to shine a light on things that other people wouldn't know about if we didn't shine that light on them. Or maybe they would know about it because it's such a big deal, and then we want to go out and we want to do an accurate story, and we want to do it to the best of our ability, and we want to continue to achieve our mission of keeping the public informed on what's going on in their community.
However, we live in a world where everyone has a certain agenda. From Fox to CNN to NBC, every major media outlet has some sort of slanted bias towards them. Just look at the headlines. And despite our current political climate, this isn't exactly unprecedented.
That is the American press from the beginning. So basically what we've done is we've basically come full circle to the way that the American press was during the founding era of our country. Because if you look at some of those newspapers, for example, which was pretty much the mass media of the day, the thing about it is it's filled with opinion. It's completely partisan. Just to give you an example, we have at home on my living room wall a copy of the New York Herald from April 15th, 1865. Okay, Abraham Lincoln was shot and had just died. Okay, so there's a picture of Abraham Lincoln, and on the left side is President shot. Then in the middle of the page there's update, President dies. And on the right side of Lincoln's engraving is rebels flee to Danville. And it's all about, Jefferson Davis and the Confederate government fleeing Richmond, which they had just abandoned, to head to Danville. And basically when you read that, it's all opinion. The scallywags, the scoundrels, the rebels, the traitors, that's all of what they're talking about there. And it's like, wow, that's really very opinionated. And that was the mid-1800s.
And those opinions, while they may be slanted, are based around a very important key element: the facts. Facts that we can't live without.
Well, I think we'd be quite backwards. I mean, I think that if you look back to where we were before audio and video came out, we were limited. I mean, look at how many people in the world can't read, but they can watch a video, they can listen to somebody else, and they can understand what's being said, and they can get the communication that way. I think it would be very challenging for us because of especially third world countries and others where they don't have the ability to communicate as well in the spoken word, but they can understand somebody else who does. I think that the ability to transmit that across the world, across the globe, is just that much greater.
So yeah, the media can be a little rough around the edges, but it does serve a purpose, a vital one. And while it may stress out some viewers, it stresses out those who work in it even more. Stay tuned to hear more from the three gentlemen as they give you an inside look on the rigors of the media. In Lynchburg, Milton Woolley, NBC News.
Love it because it can become tiring. It can be one of those things that after a while it just gets irritating.
If you do it because you want to be a local celebrity, you won't last long. And the hours and the reality of covering oftentimes horrible things will eventually win out over the joy, if you will, of seeing yourself on local television, having people recognize you in the supermarket. If you go into this because you have an inner mission to tell stories and to shine a light, as I've mentioned, on the various things that are happening in whatever community you happen to be in, if you're willing to work long hours, strange hours, and understand that the pay is not going to be that great unless you make it all the way to the network, and good luck. There's a lot of people who want to do that. By all means, this is where you should be, and that's what you should do. But you have to do it for the right reasons, or it won't work.
And those who decide to embark on a journey into the broadcast industry face many layers of stress that may not be so evident on the screen.
I was in Detroit working for CBS. We had a big major accident on a freeway that I covered. My competing station was on the air before I was, about 2 or 3 minutes before I went on the air. We went on the air, we got the story, and went back to the station. When I got back to the station, my boss called me in and yelled at me up one side and down the other. Why were we not first? And I said, because I didn't have all the facts, and I wanted to get the facts right before I went on the air. I won't use the words that he used, but suffice it to say, he was not happy with Bruce Kirk because I wasn't the first one on the air, somebody else was by a couple of minutes. And that to me really cemented in my mind that point about accuracy. I want to be right first, and then I'll worry about being the first one to the party.
Cutthroat competition. Criticism from bosses, criticism from the public, deadlines, long hours. Well, why would anyone want to get into this unforgiving industry?
I love it just because I've always found it to be one of those things that allows you to basically be a part of what's actually going on right now. Some people watch what goes on, some people want to be a part of what's going on, but you really are someone who's there. So you get to see the politicians up close, you get to hear what they say when they're off camera. You get to be around the celebrities, you get to be involved in this situation that everyone's talking about. It gives you a different view of your world.
Can I help somebody who can't get their voice heard because they're too small and nobody will pay any attention to them? But I can come along with the camera or the media and I can shine a light on that, and I can help get them a problem solved. Those are the reasons I love it.
How has it changed my life? Hard to say, because it's really the only life I've known.